So I was reading The Act of Faith, and The Act of Faith ends with this beautiful line. It says, I believe that you have revealed it, God, who can neither deceive nor be deceived. And I just remember being in the church. It was dark, and there was one light shining on the golden monstrance. And I remember stopping and looking up at the host and being met by his gaze. So I'm originally from Northern California, and I grew up in a really solid Catholic family. I have there's six in my family. My parents both were just beautiful examples, I think, of loving the Catholic faith and just making it a very organic and very natural part of our life. But I was not at all interested in being a sister when I was young. I thought it would be so boring, and I just had a very shallow idea of what religious life was. I saw the beauty of marriage, and I just desired that, and I was, I had my own plan for my life. I was, gonna go to college and, get married and have a large Catholic family of my own. But when I was in 8th grade, I started going to adoration, and that was really where I just met Christ. I went with some friends to San Francisco, and I just went from a very superficial motive. I love cities, and I thought, oh, why not? I'll go to San Francisco for the day. That'll be fun. And then in San Francisco, the Missionaries of Charity have one of their central locations for their province. So they were having a profession mass of their sisters, and I had very little exposure to religious life actually until that point, apart from just this general idea of that it existed. But I just remember being at that mass and just, first of all, being so captivated by just the expression in the sisters, their eyes. Like, they were just so filled with peace, and it was like a peace it wasn't even just joy. It was just a deep, radiant something that I just knew it was so beautiful and just was so fascinated by. But then also just the liturgy of the Mass itself. A profession is a wedding. And so just to see these women giving their lives to Christ, being his spouses, and that totality, that unreserved giving, that was something that I deeply, deeply wanted to do, just something that was so complete. And so I had this desire in that moment to do the same thing. I saw my whole life sort of spread out before me, and I knew in that moment I had this extraordinary feeling of freedom, that God, I could do what I was intending to do. I could go on this path. I could, choose marriage, choose a family, and those are good things and beautiful things, and God would bless me in that. But at the same time, I knew just beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was offering me so much more. He was offering me himself. And in that moment, I just knew, from the depths of my being, that I could not say no to that I didn't want to say no to that. So at that moment, I really just surrendered my will to him and just said, Lord, yes, whatever you want, that's what I want. So after I had just made that surrender of my will to his, I went on a discernment retreat with the sisters, and just through conversations and prayer, being with them, I just knew I was home.